The Japan Oil, Gas and Metals National Corporation, or JOGMEC, is an incorporated administrative agency established by the Japanese government with the aim of ensuring energy and natural resources security for Japan. Establishing mutually cooperative and strategic relationships with resource-rich countries and international corporations is of vital importance for securing a stable supply of energy and resources for Japan. With its technical expertise and financial resources, JOGMEC is engaged in a variety of businesses across the globe. The four pillars of JOGMEC's business are oil and natural gas, metals, coal, and geothermal. There are 8 different categories of JOGMEC's businesses in each of the phases of survey, exploration, development, production, and supply. They are geological surveys, financial support for Japanese companies, technological development, surveys for marine resource development, national stockpiling, environmental protection, natural resource diplomacy and international cooperation, and analysis and provision of information. Let's take a look at each of these 8 businesses. To evaluate resource potential, JOGMEC carries out joint geological surveys with national oil companies, government agencies, and foreign enterprises. The recent focus of interest is Africa, for its untapped resources. Here, JOGMEC is conducting seismic and related surveys jointly with the National Oil Corporation of Kenya for evaluation of oil potential. South Africa, the continent's largest economy, is a world-leading producer of gold and platinum. Here in the Waterberg region, JOGMEC discovered large deposits of platinum metals together with the Canadian company. In Australia, one of the world's largest producers of coal, JOGMEC concluded 3 joint exploration agreements in Queensland with Australian coal companies. Surveys have also begun in promising areas of coal in Mozambique, Africa, and Vietnam. Abundant geothermal resources in Japan can be a viable source of renewable energy. JOGMEC conducts airborne geophysical surveys to identify prospective areas in the Kyushu and Tohoku regions. JOGMEC also provides financial assistance for the exploration of geothermal resources in Japan. JOGMEC promotes the advancement of resources development projects by providing equity capital and liability guarantees to participating Japanese companies. Australia is an important liquefied natural gas supplier to Japan. The Ichthys LNG project is operated by a Japanese company to which JOGMEC has provided a liability guarantee as part of its financial assistance. In Brazil, JOGMEC is working to secure niobium, a rare metal essential for high-grade steel plates manufacturing and indispensable for the auto industry. Along with other Japanese companies, JOGMEC is an equity investor in the world's largest niobium ore project in Brazil. Chile is the world's largest producer of copper. The Caserones copper mine, located in the Andes, is fully owned by Japanese companies. JOGMEC is providing loans for mineral exploration to Japanese sponsors and a liability guarantee for development to this Japanese consortium. All copper concentrates produced will be supplied to Japanese copper smelters and refineries. Financial assistance is also being provided to geothermal projects in Japan. In order to ensure promotion of renewable energy sources, JOGMEC has provided liability guarantees to newly built geothermal power plants in the Tohoku and Kyushu regions. JOGMEC's important role in the expansion of global recoverable natural resources is the development of innovative technologies. Shale gas has made an enormous impact on the global energy market in recent years. Extracting gas from tightly packed shale formations is a challenge for the industry. JOGMEC's Technology and Research Center, or TRC, is developing a pore analysis technology that uses a microfocus X-ray CT and electron microscope to visualize the pore structure. Generally, oil recovery factors for primary and secondary production hover between 5 and 25%. The TRC is developing CO2 EOR technology with an aim to boost the recovery factor by injecting carbon dioxide into the oil reservoirs of existing fields. It is also environmentally friendly, contributing to the reduction of CO2 emissions. JOGMEC is also developing recycling technology to retrieve rare metals from discarded high-tech devices. This is a plan for recovering tantalum from personal computers, mobile phones, and other household electrical appliances. The tantalum is reused in capacitors. Here, selection hinges on physical characteristics, such as the density and magnetism of disassembled parts. JOGMEC hosts the Techno Forum every year. It is an occasion for resources-producing countries to come across solutions among Japan's cutting-edge technologies that help solve their technical challenges. JOGMEC is also responsible for laying the groundwork for the exploration and development of marine resources. The ship about to set off is JOGMEC's research vessel, Hakude, in search of subsurface mineral resources and seafloor metal deposits in Japan's exclusive economic zone and surrounding waters. This is footage of seafloor polymetallic sulfides that was captured by a remotely operated vehicle. These efforts have led JOGMEC to recent discoveries of deposits rich in zinc, lead, gold, and other minerals on the seabed. The black rocks covering the seabed consist of a variety of minerals. This is called a cobalt-rich ferromanganese crust. These crusts are rich in precious rare metals, including cobalt, which is used as a positive electrode material for lithium-ion batteries. The International Seabed Authority awarded JOGMEC the first exclusive right to explore and develop rare metals, including cobalt, nickel, and platinum. Shigen, or Natural Resources in Japanese, is the government's 3D seismic survey vessel. Geological and geophysical data is collected to evaluate oil and gas-bearing potentials in and around Japan's exclusive economic zone. This is an air gun installed on the Shigen. Sound waves are reflected from geological layers below the seabed and received by 10 4,800-meter-long streamer cables. The collected data is processed and interpreted to delineate the subsurface structures three-dimensionally. The development of methane hydrate has also been carried out. JOGMEC conducted an offshore production test in 2013 and confirmed the continuous production of methane gas for 6 days from a methane hydrate layer 300 meters below a 1,000-meter deep seabed. It was a remarkable accomplishment. The first time that methane gas was produced from dissociated hydrates below a seabed. JOGMEC is also responsible for stockpiling natural resources to minimize disruptions in emergencies and manages government-owned stockpiles and stockpiling bases. Crude oil and LPG reserves are to be released in the case of political unrest in producing countries, natural disasters, and other events that may trigger a supply disruption in the Japanese market. The total amount of crude oil in the 10 stockpiling bases around Japan is equivalent to about 110 days of domestic consumption, while the amount of LPG in the 5 stockpiling bases is equivalent to about 30 days of imports. There is close cooperation and coordination among IEA members so that the soaring of crude oil and LPG prices may be avoided in the international market. Stockpiling of rare metals, indispensable for the Japanese industry's state-of-the-art technologies, is also JOGMEC's responsibility. It serves as a safeguard against short-term supply disruptions of rare metals and stabilizes the Japanese economy. JOGMEC supports pollution control in Japanese metal and coal mines in various ways. Its expertise has been generously shared with resource-rich countries. The Kitakami River, one of the most renowned clean streams in the Tohoku region, had been polluted by huge amounts of highly acidic water that leaked from the abandoned Matsuo mine. JOGMEC made major efforts to restore the Kitakami River to its former clean state. It was achieved through a neutralization and treatment plant at the abandoned Matsuo mine that is maintained and managed by JOGMEC. It is situated partway up Hachimantai in Iwate Prefecture. Polluted water is treated here with the help of iron oxidizing bacteria and mixed with a neutralization agent, and the cleaned water is then released into the river. The Metals Technology Center also develops low-cost water treatment technology known as passive treatment, which is virtually maintenance-free. It utilizes organic matter such as waste rice husk. Organic matter, which acts as nourishment for sulfate-reducing bacteria, is placed inside a bioreactor. The sulfate-reducing bacteria are activated and the metal ions in the mine drainage are removed as a sulfide. Efforts to prevent mine pollution are not limited to domestic initiatives. In one example, experts are dispatched to Peru to transfer JOGMEC's accumulated know-how and experience. JOGMEC collaborates with emerging economies in Southeast Asia and Africa by hosting mine pollution control seminars and ensuring sustainable mine development. These dialogues and meetings with key government figures from resource-rich countries and executives from state-run companies and major corporations are energy summits, so to speak, where mutually cooperative frameworks are established for joint ventures, technical collaboration, and human resources development. Professionals and engineers from the government and state-run enterprises of resource-rich countries are invited to Japan to attend advanced technical programs related to their relevant expertise in oil, gas, or coal development. The number of participants in those courses exceeds 3,000, and the established human network spans the entire globe. JOGMEC established the Botswana Geologic Remote Sensing Center in 2008 and has since trained over 300 geologists from 11 Southern African Development Community member states. JOGMEC holds various lectures and seminars on hot topics in a timely manner, including investment seminars held jointly with overseas government agencies. JOGMEC will continue to commit itself to activities with the clear objective of securing a stable supply of natural resources. Various projects in collaboration with JOGMEC are carried out vigorously around the world, contributing to the stable supply of natural resources. JOGMEC looks ahead toward the future of natural resources. JOGMEC will continue its sustainable efforts and activities for the effective use of the Earth's limited resources.